Hello teacher, we are $6 billion. Today we are going to discuss about another P in the 4P marketing mix, which stands for pricing. This is our outline. There are three main objectives. The first one is what is a price. The second is major pricing strategies. And the final is other internal and external considerations affecting price decisions. Objective one is about the price. So what is price? Price is the amount of money paid for a product or service. This is the sum of all values customers give up to obtain the benefits of using the product. And price is one of the most important elements to establish a company's market share and profitability, and is the most flexible and the only one of the marketing mix that generates revenue, whereas other entail costs. Moving to objective two, major pricing strategy. The first major I want to mention is customer value-based pricing. When it comes to the price, it comes to the perception of the customer. So value-based pricing focuses deeply on this aspect. It's important to remember that good value is not the same as low price. That is how the luxurious can still make a profit. Value-based pricing occurs when the marketer sets a price before setting marketing program. The price is set according to the target customer needs and perceptions of value. So when asking about the value of Apple, the customer answer is about the similarity with iOS and Mac OS. Moreover, the sleek design element that different from other products. And lastly, is about the software and hardware integration that makes Apple products work very well within ecosystem. And good value pricing is one of the types of value-based pricing. It states that the offering the right combination of the quality and good service at a fair price. Retailer carry out less expensive version of its type brand name products on new lower price lines. An important type of good value pricing at the retail level is called everyday low pricing. EDLP includes chosen a constant, everyday low price with few or no temporary price discounts. Perhaps the king of EDLP is Walmart. Walmart promises everyday low price on everything it sells. Another concept is high-low pricing, which means that the high price is on everyday basis, but running frequent promotions are often carried out on the selected items. High-low pricing is often used by sportswear or sports shoe retailers like Adidas and Nike. A final type is value-added pricing. So instead of lowering the price, companies can choose to add more value-added features and provide a superior service or comfortable experience to support their higher price. That is how the value can be the price. For example, Starbucks provides a comfortable coffee house experience for meeting and working in addition to good coffee.
When it comes to the cost-based pricing, as the second strategies on the market, we can do is convince the buyer that a setting is suitable for the product value. Since the company now set a price based on the cost of the designing, distributing, and producing, and the companies with the lower cost can sell the lower prices that result in the smaller margins. But with the sales and profit, and that will take a lateral as an example to illustrate is the aspect clearer. Every month Lenovo must pay the SPIT for the rent hit, interest, and exact the salaries, regardless of the company levels of the output, as the fixed cost and every the laptop produced involves a cost of the computer chip, plastic packaging, or other inputs, although the cost tend to be the same for each unit produced, then the upon variable cost because the total value is with the number of unit per do and the costs vary with the different levels of the reduction as the production increase. The idea of the stock run average cost and long run average cost could be the beneficial too. Supposedly, the board runs a plan that reduce the 3,000 topics per day as the leader will gain the experience in producing the tablet. You learn how to do is the better. As the result, the average cost tend to the decrease with the accumulated reductions experience, and it's either on the variant curve here. Another two concepts are the cost plus pricing and the target profit pricing, as the calculation are shown on the screen. The last strategies that I want to share with you is the competition-based pricings. When considering the buying something, the customers often make the comparison between the brands, especially which one is the better with a lower price. So this process strategy depends much on the competitors' strategy costs, prices, and the marketing offer. To do so, the companies must know who are their competitors, hedge and thus has adopted a competitive process strategies with respect to its the direct premium competitor, Ben's and the Cherry, and the prestigious pricing strategies with respect to order the calories of the ice cream Paskin province. And if the current competitor charge the high prices, it's easy to understand the company would choose to the lower their cost. However, with the larger firm that are the currently the overall cost, leader company need to be the wiser to use the value-added pricing strategy. The Chinese Virgin America has applied the strategy and made a huge success by providing the superior services and smoothly prove the extra money we pay is the absolutely reasonable.
Beyond customer value perceptions, costs, and competitor strategies, the company must consider several additional internal and external factors. Internal factors affecting pricing include the company's overall marketing strategy, objectives, and marketing mix, as well as other organizational considerations. External factors include the nature of the market and demand and other environmental factors. Marketers must consider the total marketing strategy and mix when setting prices, and also need to remember that customers rarely buy on price alone. Instead, they seek products that give them the best value in terms of benefits received for the prices paid. We can learn more about this through Trader Joe's special twist on the food's price value strategy called Cheap Gourmet, the Whole Foods Market's Value Meter campaign, or Sleep Numbers non-price competition. Management must decide who within the organization should set prices. Companies handle pricing in a variety of ways. For example, in small companies, prices are often set by top management rather than by the marketing or sales departments. In large companies, pricing is typically handled by divisional or product managers. Before setting prices, the marketer must understand the relationship between price and demand for the company's product. Firstly, pricing in different types of markets. The seller's pricing freedom varies with different types of markets. Economists recognize four types of markets, each representing a different pricing challenge. There are pure competition, monopolistic competition, oligopolistic competition, and pure monopoly. Secondly, analyzing the price and demand relationship. The demand curve shows the number of units the market will buy in a given time period at different prices that will be charged. Finally, price elasticity of demand. Marketers also need to know price elasticity, how responsive demand will be to a change in price. If demand hardly changes, with a small change in price, we say demand is inelastic. If demand changes greatly, we say the demand is elastic. Economic factors such as a boom or recession, inflation, and interest rates affect pricing decisions because they affect consumer spending, consumer perceptions of the product's price and value, and the company's cost of producing and selling a product. Beyond the market and the economy, the company must consider several other factors in its external environment, such as resellers, government, and social concerns.
And now let's move to the chapter 11, pricing strategies. In the objective 1, named new product pricing strategies, we will describe the major strategies for pricing new products. In the objective 2, product mix pricing strategy, we explain how company find set a price that maximize the profits from the total product mix. In the objective 11.3, price adjustment strategy, we will discuss how company adjust their price to take into account different type of customers and situations. And in the objective 11.4, price changes, we will discuss the key issues related to the initiating and responding to price changes. And in the last objective 11.5, public policies and pricing, we will overview the social and legal issues that affect pricing decisions. Pricing strategies usually change As the products pass through its life cycle, the introductory stage is especially challenging. Companies bringing out a new product face the challenge of setting prices for the first time. They can choose between two broad strategies: market skimming pricings and market penetration pricings. And now let's find out about the market skimming pricings. Many companies that invent new products set high initial prices to skim revenue layers by layer from the market. Apple is a great example. They frequently use this strategy called market skimming pricing or price skimming. With each new generation of Apple, iPhone, iPad, or MacBook computers, new models start at high price, then work their way down as newer model or in this way, Apple schemes the maximum amount of revenue from the various segments of the market. For example, through smart premium pricing, Apple vacuumed up as much as 92% of all smartphone profit. Setting high price for a new product to scheme maximum revenues layers by layer from the segments willing to pay the high price, the company make fewer but more profitable sales. And market skimming makes sense only under certain conditions. First, the product's qualities and image must support its higher price and enough buyers must want the product at the price. Second, the cost of producing a smaller volume cannot be so high that they can show the advantage of charging more. And finally, the competitors should not be able to enter the market easily and undercut the high price. And now let's move to the other market penetration pricings. Rather than setting a high initial price to scheme of small but profitable market segments, some companies use market penetration pricing. Companies set a low initial price to penetrate the market quickly and deeply to attract a large number of buyers quickly and win a large market share. The high sales volume result in falling costs, allowing companies to cut their price even further. For example, HERT Global used penetration pricing to quickly build demand for its wave storm board. Before wave storm surfers and would-be surfers typically bought custom-made or high-end support surfboards at local shops, where entry-level boards typically run 3,000 to 300 to $1,000. But they did difference. And after that, thanks to the penetration pricing, Wavestorm is now the market leader, selling an estimated 5 times more boards than the other largest surfboard brands. But the market penetrations also has some conditions, and here they are. First, the markets must be highly price sensitive, so that a low price produce more market growth. Second, production and distribution costs must decrease as sales volume increases. Finally, the low price must help keep the competition, and the penetration pressure must maintain its low price position. Otherwise, the price advantage may be only temporary. The strategy for setting a product's price often has to be changed when the product is part of product mix. In this case, the firm look for a set of prices that maximize its profit on the total product mix. Pricing is difficult because the various products have related demand and cost and face different degrees of competition. We now took a closer look at the 5 product mix pricing situations summarized in the table. First one, products the pricings, which means that selling price across an entire product line. Number 2, optional product pricings. Pricings of optional on accessories products sold with the main product. Number 3, the capture product pricings. Pricings products that must be used with the main product. Number 4, by product pricings. Pricing low value by products to get rid of money. And the last one, product vendor pricings, pricings bundles product. So together. And now we have finished the objective number 1 and number 2. Let's move to the objective number 3.
There are 7 price adjustment stages. Discount and allowance pricing is applied in a large share of business, especially in B2B. Discount can be granted as a cash discount or price reductions to buyers who pay their bill promptly. For example, 2/10 net 30 means that if a customer pays their bill within 10 days, they will get 2% discount, whereas in the normal duration of that bill is 30 days. Also, the quantity of discount can be given to someone by large volumes. A seasonal discount is reduced to buyers pay mechanics or service out of season. For customer segment pricings, while visiting the museum, children and students will pay a lower fee than others. For time-based segment pricings, the price we rent a hotel room during the peak season or holiday in the off-season will be higher than normal. For psychology pricing, for instance, many consumers use price to judge quality. A $100 bottle of perfume may contain $3 in aroma, but consumers will pay that seeing the price signifies that the product is exceptional. In considering the psychological pricing in the seller, instead of focusing on economics, the psychology of pricing is also focused. Promoting pricings, Shopee's become famous over the years. It often has flash sales with a tight time to limit. To catch the deal creates a sense of urgency in customers. They notice the product and feel that if they don't act fast, they will pay more later. Here, promotion pricing attracts cost-sensitive customers. There are 5 geographical pricing stages and their definition. Dynamic pricing is adjusting prices continually to meet the characteristics and needs of certain consumers and situations. Previously, prices are usually decided by negotiation between buyers and sellers. Price rules are adjusted to the specific customer or situation instead of fixed prices, or adjusted on a daily or even hour basis, taking many variables into account such as current demand, inventories, and costs. For example, in a gas station, prices are adjusted sometimes several per hour to reflect the current crude oil prices, demand, and other factors.
In Objective 4, we will discuss the critical issues related to initiating and responding to price changes. After developing their pricing structure and strategies, companies often face situations in which they must initiate price changes or respond to price changes by competitors. In some cases, the company may find it desirable to initiate either a price cut or a price increase. In both cases, it must anticipate possible buyer and competitor reactions. The first part is initiating price cut. Several situations may lead a firm to consider cutting its price. One such circumstance is excess capacity. Another is falling demand in the face of strong price competition or a weakened economy. The firm may aggressively cut prices to boost sales and market share in such cases. However, cutting price in an industry loaded with excess capacity may lead to price war as competitors try to hold on to market share. Next is initiating to price increase. A successful price increase can greatly improve profit. When raising prices, the company must avoid being perceived as a price gouger. Customers will turn away from companies that they perceive as charging excessive prices. There are some techniques to avoid this problem. One is to maintain a sense of fairness surrounding any price increase. Price increases should be supported by company communications, telling customers why prices are being raised so they will understand it and be loyal to the company. Customers do not always interpret price changes in a straightforward way. A price increase may have some positive meanings for buyers. Similarly, consumers may view a price cut in several ways. For example, you might think that you are getting a better deal on an exclusive product, or you would think that the quality had been reduced, or they are going to release a new product. A firm considering a price change must worry about the reactions of its competitors as well as those of its customer. Competitors are most likely to react when the number of firms involved is small, when the product is uniform, and when the buyers are well informed about products and prices. Like the customer, the competitors can interpret a company price cut in many ways. This figure shows the ways a company might assess and respond to a competitor's price cut. Suppose a company learns that a competitor has cut its price and decides that this price cut is likely to harm its sales and profits. It might simply decide to hold its current price and believe that it will not lose too much market share or that it will lose too much profit if it reduces its own price. Or it might decide that it should wait and respond when it has more information on the effects of the competitor's price change. However, waiting for too long to act might let the competitor get stronger and more confident as its sales increase. Objective 5 overview the social and legal issues that affect the pricing decision. Price competition is a core element of our free market economy. In setting prices, companies usually are not free to charge whatever price they wish. Many federal, state, and even local law govern the rules that of fair play in pricing. In addition, companies must consider broader societal pricing concerns. Federal legislation on price fixing states that sellers must set prices without talking to competitors. Otherwise, the price conclusion is suspected. Price fixing is illegal per se, that is, the government does not accept any excuses for price fixing. Companies found guilty of price fixing practice can pay heavy penalties. For example, Apple paid 450 million in fines for conspiring with publishers to fix prices on ebooks. Sellers are also prohibited from using predatory pricing, selling below cost with the intentions of punishing the competitor or gaining higher long-run profits by putting competitors out of business. This protects small sellers from larger ones that might sell items below cost temporarily or in a specific locals to drive them out of the business. The Robinson-Patman Act seeks to prevent unfair price discrimination by ensuring that sellers offer the same price term to customers at a given level of trade. For example, every retailer is entitled to the same price term for a given manufacturer. However, price discrimination is allowed if the seller can prove that its costs are different when selling to different retailers, or the seller can discriminate in its pricing if the seller manufactures different qualities of the same product for different retailers. The seller has to prove that these differences are proportional.